There's not many black faces in cricket, in general, really.
The numbers are not coming through at the grassroots all the way through to the international. It's dropped by 75% over the last 20 years.
I don't think young black British kids have enough role models in England to want to play cricket.
How are you going to get into it? If you're not seeing it, why are you going to pick up the bat and play?
It's important now more than ever we come together to drive change.
Now, Surrey have announced that their ACE programme, designed to increase opportunities for the African Caribbean community, is to become an independent charity.
Partnership with Sport England, who have invested over £500,000.
And 25 young cricketers have been given scholarships by the ACE programme.
It'll be good to see you play.
Showing these black communities that cricket is a sport that you can play and you can be part of, and it can be fun and it's part of our culture.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's an amazing initiative, and hopefully we can play our part in getting as many kids to get involved in our sport.
I get him, boy! You're not meant to say that, man!
I found out through an email that I got their scholarship. I just jumped up, shouted, screamed all over the house.
It's a talent ID programme, so hopefully we'll have them playing at the highest level.
We've actually seen some players that have some potential.
And one player in particular who's been seen by our academy performance managers and is going to get an opportunity to play for the under-18s. That wouldn't have happened without this programme.
I definitely want to play for England, go down under and fight in the Ashes. I think that is the best part of cricket for me.
I just want to be the best I can be. Go all the way.
I want to push hard and work hard for it.
Hopefully play for England one day and yeah, represent our country.
So they get every performance opportunity to make it.
So we're going to start with the schools programme, just going to schools. You know what? Let's have some cricket.
Young people need role models in sports and need to see people who are doing it at the highest level. So it's great when people with that experience could come down and share their knowledge with the young people.
Here we go, first ball. Yeah! There you go.
As only 3 full-time head coaches in the history of county cricket have been of an African Caribbean background.
Okay, you have a real good understanding.
Kids do kind of look up to people who they look like, and we need more black coaches.
Just as importantly, can we help them off the field? Can we develop their personal skills, their character, everything? I think it's all a big package.
We don't really need to know the reasons behind you being late. I'm personally not interested.
I never had a female coach when I was growing up, and that would have been really inspirational for me.
We want to get more girls playing and enjoying and loving the game and realising what it can do for them.
One thing I hear a lot from other girls is that cricket's a boys' sport, and they don't know there's an opportunity for them to actually play women's cricket.
Visibility is so important. You really can't be what you can't see.
If I could see someone do that, of course I would think, oh, well, if she can do it, I can do it.
For other girls playing cricket, just focus on what you want, your goal, not what anyone else worries about.
And that's what we're here for. We're just trying to create opportunities, change people's lives.
Black talent is always there. It's about how you bring it out.
If we come together and work together, we could see accelerated change.
There's not many.
Well, a very warm welcome back, and there a wonderful video about the ACE programme, and alongside me is the ACE programme's director, Chevy Green. We were just chatting about that video, Chevy.
Yeah.
And it's terrific video, and every time that's played, I should think you sit there and think, wow, we've achieved an awful lot in a very short space of time.
Yeah, no, very, very proud of it, and it just brings together what the whole programme's about, Mark, and it's just fantastic that it covers from, it's got the academy scholars in there, it's got women and girls, it's got schools, it touches on all areas of the game that we want to work on, and it's surprising that, you know, it's literally been a year since we had our first kind of open day, and we had our first training session, you know, after all these lockdowns, just Wednesday gone, this week, and that was probably the 8th time I've seen some of those young people, just because of how things have been. But it's great. It was great to have them, you know, being enthusiastic, and we'll have more content like that coming out as the programme grows, and just show them what we do.
Absolutely. But before we get into our chat, Richard Ray from BBC Radio Leicester is here. Just lean forward because he wants to get his jacket.
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's absolutely fine. I could see him there. I think he wants to go get some fresh air, and it's cold out there. So
it's a bit nippy. It's a bit nippy out there.
It is
a bit
There's
nippy.
you in your Ace T-shirt, and it's absolutely freezing.
Well, no, we always got to promote the brand.
No,
where we are.
You're doing it very well, my friend.
You're doing it.
Now, look, let's go back because, as I say, everything's happened very, very quickly. So. Ace programme, the brainchild of Ebony Rainford.
Yeah.
And Ebony's somewhere in the ground today.
She is. She's in our Ace office, just literally across the way. Where you see the English tea shop, that is where our office is.
Superb.
So she's in the building.
Well, if she's listening or watching, good afternoon to you. I was actually chatting with Ebony only last Friday night on something else. So looking at her drum kit and her bonsai tree in her front room, which seems to have Christmas lights on it for some bizarre reason. But yeah. So sort of just take us back to the start of all of this, Chevy, because it's fascinating. It really is.
Yeah, like you said, it started with I call her the first lady of Ace. So like she's technically my boss, but she doesn't like me calling her that. So she's happy with the first lady. We was in the Stewie's war room, in fact, actually.
The war room?
With the performance department, with GT and Benji and Greavesy, Spriggs and Harry, and we was all kind of just brought together with Ebbs. This was pre-Christmas around 2019, December, and I think Ebbs has been working on it a bit before. The African Caribbean Cricket Association was having some discussions with Richard Simile at the same time, and then it all got brought together and said, all right, well, let's try and do it, because she may be listening. I'll be honest, at first we had a bit of a back and forth on what we felt was the vision for Ace.
So when you first heard about the vision, what was your sort of initial thoughts then? I was
excited, but I was very skeptical because I'm someone who's been. I was in and out of the Surrey system as a kid, and I saw many other young black cricketers, friends of mine, and even my brother as well, who was in and out of it for various different reasons. And I didn't have the trust that the game would be so receptive. And but you take a step back. That was just my initial feelings. And you take a step back and you think what the power can do, and that's why I always say to people, it's bigger than me, it's bigger than Ebony, it's bigger than the staff, it's bigger than the current scholars. It means so much to re-engage and re-embrace the black community for cricket, because for many years you hear, oh, black kids don't like cricket, and that always used to annoy me, because that's not true. Because if other sports can find black talent, why can't cricket? There's many different sports that black people play, and it's just providing the right opportunities for them. So I was skeptical at first, and just being excited along the journey, with Ebbs, and we chat often. I probably speak to Ebony more than I speak to anyone else these days, and we bounce ideas off each other. We don't always agree, which is good because we see things differently, but we always come to the right decision of what's right for the community, what's right for the people, what's right for our scholars on the programme.
So from that initial chat in a war room, across the way, we're sat here in the JM Finn stand. The war room's over there in the pavilion here at the Kia Oval. Sort of what were the sort of first steps? Because it's the concept in itself is brilliant, and the fact that you've done what you've done in a couple of years is outstanding. But it's all very well and good having a concept. Of
course,
you've got to make it happen. So how did you go about making it happen?
So at the time we kind of had our thoughts, then we met back up together probably about a couple of weeks afterwards, in the committee room, and we had the marketing team with us, and it was just around how we're going to market it, because we're not sure how we're going to get to engage the young people. So I knew a lot of young black cricketers on some of the programs I worked at in my previous role at Surrey. Then we had schools and just word of mouth and different promotions.
Just explain to everybody your previous role at Surrey as well.
My previous role. I was cricket participation manager at Surrey, and so I was responsible for diverse communities, women and girls, and disability cricket across the Surrey and South London. So but I started off as a community coach. So I started off as a coach, development officer, then cricket cricket participation manager now. You know, luckily and thankfully, even in the pandemic, you know, director of ACE. So yeah, it's great. But yeah, we just try to get and find the young people, spread it, and then we had 100 people turn up for the open days in March,
which was amazing. Amazing. But yeah, give us an idea of. So you work with the brilliant marketing team at Surrey, obviously, and you've got a lot of backup here, and
definitely,
you know, we all know what sort of club Surrey are. But how did you go from that to getting 100 turning up in March from scratch, basically?
You know, like, as you mentioned, like the support we have from the county club here is fantastic. You know, even the small things that people might not even consider, they go out the way, and the support from, you know, Richard and Andrew and the finance team, HR team, down to the marketing team, to everyone that is around here that supports ACE is unbelievable. And just having, like I said, even though we're independent, having that attachment to the club and that support, you know, takes a lot of pressure off our shoulders. But yeah, from there we had a marketing campaign, we had a video, Ebony did a promotional video, we had Chude, Alex Chude, he came on and he did a few talks and a bit of promotion with him as well, as a Surrey cricket legend, and that for me, he's a family friend, so that was like even better, you know. And we just promoted it. We had flyers done, we promoted it out as far and wide as we could, and we just had our fingers crossed and waited to see. So we knew that some people would be turning up, because, you know, I had direct links to some people who were like, no, you got to be there, you got to be there. The African Caribbean Cricket Association was saying to the young people they knew, you've got to be there. So there was some, but we didn't. I wasn't expecting over the 2 days 100 youngsters.
Well, look, before we get on to that and them 200 youngsters turning up for those 2 days, just explain to everybody what the aim of the ACE program is, because you've had your initial meetings, you've got your vision.
Yeah.
What is the vision and what is the aim of the ACE program?
It's just to get more young black and black Caribbean and black African and not even just black, but African and Caribbean people, you know, playing the game of cricket. There's been such a history of this country. There's been a history of, you know, even at this ground, you know, you could go back many years of, you know, who's grovelling now to the link to the West Indies, and you know, there's an attachment there, and for whatever reasons, you know, partly within the black community and partly within cricket itself, there was a neglect, you know, from a professional standpoint, to go from, you know, 75% down to now 1%. You know, that's onus on the game itself as well within the community, and from a recreational, we're sitting at, you know, even just below 1%. So for us, it's just trying to re-engage that, and but we know we're going to bring other ethnicities and communities along the way. Like our development and community hubs are open to all ethnicities, all genders. So we've got 4 sessions starting in a couple of weeks' time. Across Lambeth, and we've got 4 sessions in Croydon, and in those areas that's open to all ethnicities, you know. And the power of that is we'll be bringing everyone along the journey of ACE. The only difference for us at ACE is for our academy at the moment it is you know, African and Caribbean heritage. That's the only difference. But in terms of our schools program or our community program, you know, just it's open to everyone, and luckily we've been able to launch in Birmingham, which is great. So there's more community over there that in that part of the world that's going to get it, and we're just wanting to expand. We've got a lot of good interest from other parts of the counties and the country.
Would it be too simplistic to say creating the opportunity as well? That's what you are creating.
That is the key thing.
That's the key thing.
Yeah. That's the key thing. It's creating opportunity, one, just to play the game, but creating it at all levels. So it's creating it from a participation, just playing, and then creating it from a performance. You know, we've had one young man who got to through the program, got to play for the Surrey under-18s at the back end of the season. We've got some other players who we know that we can create those opportunities again. But opportunities within clubs, and even for coaches, new coaches. You know, I had an exciting call with the ECB this morning around some coach education stuff, and getting more coaches involved and more tutors involved into the game, diversifying that for more, you know, black men and women to get involved into cricket. So we just want cricket to really be a game for all. We think cricket can reflect society. I don't know how much it reflects it at the moment, but through ACE we want to play our part in doing that, and there's no reason why it shouldn't.
Right. So those 2 days, March. Come on, be honest. How many kids did you think were going to, and how much of a surprise was it when they turned up?
I've said it on and off cameras before. You know, I was surprised, very surprised. You know, I knew what talented kids that I kind of was making come. I didn't expect there to be 100. And we never really. The great thing about it was we went into those 2 days looking for 16 players, and we ended up taking 24.
Okay, so you were looking for 16 players to come on to the ACE program.
Yeah, as a start.
As a starting point.
As a start, yeah.
And you ended up with 24.
After 2 days, after 2 days of trials, we ended up with 24 players. So that just showed you, it was like, well, there was enough talent there that we had to extend it. We was like, we can't whittle it down to 16. It was like, well, can we take 24?
And for all of you, that must have been a sort of, not light bulb moment, but hang on, just a second. We knew there was talent out there, but there is an awful lot.
Yeah, no, there is, and we'll be having open days in early June, during that kind of May-June half term, one in London and one in Birmingham. And people ask me, are you capping it again? And I'm like, no, I just open to see if you're talented and you're good enough, you're in our age range, let's see how we can help. You know, I don't want to put a number in it. As long as we can facilitate it group-wise, you know, then let's go, let's do it. You know, there's no reason stopping us. So the more players we can find, more young boys and girls out there, then who knows, we'll get them playing for Surrey one day, Leicester one day. You know, one of our scholars, she's a massive Leicester fan, so she's happy. She might not be happy with some of the wickets. So Natasha, if you are, I know you're on holiday, so Natasha, if you are watching the stream and listening, and your dad, then Leicester started off well, but Surrey's coming back with Kemar Roach.
Well, there you go. You see, it's Kemar, absolutely. but just so you've got your 24 now. The structure for you, you've mentioned academy and you've mentioned your schools and your community.
Yeah.
Could you just explain to everybody what that structure is? Because you know you've got your academy, but you want to open it up to everybody. Don't you?
So if we took a pathway of let's say a young boy or girl who attends one of our Lambeth community sessions, they could start there. They could, we'll find them at school. So let's go from school. We'll go to school. So there's a young boy or girl in school. We see a bit of talent. We invite them to one of our community hubs, and then from their community hubs, if they're improving, then they can graduate into our academy as well. So that's kind of the pathway that we're setting from a child's journey. And
age starts?
So ages 10 to 18.
Okay,
so let's
start at 10.
You know, starts at 10. So because that's year 5. So we're focused on year 5 and year 6 in the schools first, and year 7 and 8 with a girls focus in secondary schools. But you know, let's take a 10-year-old boy or girl. We find them. They could be on our program, go through from a school to community to our academy. They could be within our program, and within 8 years they could be playing professional cricket on a rookie contract anywhere. So that's the idea of what we want to try and do.
Well, it's and obviously it's working already. Now the thing is, with anything like the ACE program, and obviously now official charity as well, which is absolutely terrific, but you need the right coaches, you need the right staff, you're the director. Just to explain to us, coaching wise, who you're using, and as you said, you want to create opportunities as well for coaches, and you want to create opportunities for people working with the ACE program. So again, just sort of coaching wise and staff wise, how does the ACE program work?
Yeah, so we've aligned our program to, because it's a talent ID program, aligned it to the performance departments at the respective counties. So our head coach on our ACE London Academy is Jeremy Greaves, who's one of the performance managers here. So, you know, it's great to have him. You know, I think he's finished or on his way to finishing his level 4. You know, he's been a fantastic coach for many years. So having him and his knowledge from the performance side of things is huge. And then supporting him, we've now got two full-time coaches who both have experience from a schools element, but also on a performance element, who's been doing bits and bobs in the Surrey stuff before. So that's fantastic. So shout out Shamar and Anito as our full-time coaches, and then we've got support from other people as well. Simon Jackson is a young up-and-coming coach. He was involved in the MCCYC program. Lauren Honor Jaffa, she's from Essex. She's currently doing her level 3 at the moment, but she's actually UK women's third. She's third in the country as UK's strongest woman. So we've got her along the program too. And unfortunately for him, I've got my brother who's just recently come involved into the program. So he's got a master's in sports psychology and a level 3 coach, and he's just coming on a different angle around just talking to the guys about the mental side. His first session with us this week, and having a long time off, just speaking to the guys about their mental state, being at home for this period. So just trying to cover all bases, for our staff and our team.
Interesting you mentioned that, because you mentioned that you were in that war room with Gareth Townsend and Matthew Sprigo, and the academy here very, very well.
Yeah.
You do it brilliantly, don't
you?
So how much of that have you sort of tapped into as well, the way that the academy, Surrey Academy?
We're trying to tap into it as much as we can. We actually had a really good meeting last week, just talking about aligning, how we keep aligning our programs, trial opportunities, or what stages is are, and Jeremy's the key cog to that. Wow. We're having Jeremy as our head coach, and he sits in that department. It makes that transition and those conversations a lot easier. And they've been brilliant. GT and Benji and Spriggs. Greavesy, Harry from the admin side, Catherine from even booking the venues for us, and from the women and girls side of stuff. Their support has been huge, and they've been helping us shape how we want to do our sessions and things, and just having that connectivity is massive. But no pressure on Jeremy. He's the key person to get our ace kids into the Surrey performance setup.
Great man, great man. Now you mentioned March. I've got to ask you about this.
Yeah.
March. You've got your 24, and then we get locked down, and we all know what's been going on.
Yeah.
How hard has that been? Because like with anything, when you've got something new, you just want to crack on, don't you? And you're up, you're running, you've got your momentum, you've got your players, and then suddenly
it was
lockdown.
It was a massive challenge, because you do all this enthusiasm. We had a little marketing and media campaign. We had the open days. We saw 100 kids. We selected 24. There's all this hype, and then we were in the national lockdown. And then even from from our own, because at that time I wasn't director then. I was still doing my role with Surrey in the foundation, and the performance had their things, and there was people going on furlough. There was loads of different stuff happening, and along that way there wasn't really even much communication even to the ace kids at the time, and just across the whole face of cricket there wasn't much communication at all. It was just a complete lockdown and shutdown. And I have to thank the parents and the scholars for their understanding of the situation. They had their own issues going on with their respective families, and it was a really weird situation to be in. So we had that lockdown, and then we actually got back out to do some sessions here at the Oval, and then we played some games at LSC. Played a game at LSC, and we played a mixed academy game here, and so the summer was very disrupted. But
how important was it for? And we've all said, genuinely looking back at last summer now, it was a miracle we got cricket. It really was. From a professional point of view and a recreational point of view. But for you guys, how crucial was it that you did get back, and you did get some games, and you did get some training sessions in, and you did get your 24 back and into the program?
It was massively important, because like I said, even at the time, which we learnt from, since then with the two other lockdowns, we did learn from it, just keeping that communication angles was so important, and we didn't really do enough of that. So actually bringing them back in for training, you know, and then playing some games was great. Was great just to see them again and feel like, because you've been selected on a program, you're not really hearing much, don't really know what's going on, and then you're seeing stuff, because even over that period we were still able to release some content that Sky picked up and all these different things.
What I working behind the scenes brilliantly, and obviously you were doing all of this, and Ebony is a tour de force. Absolute tour de force on this.
She doesn't stop.
No, absolutely,
she doesn't stop.
Unbelievable. But of course, I saw it all. You got a lot of press coverage, didn't you, as well, which was massive, because it kept it slap bang in the public eye, didn't it? Even though you hadn't had a lot of cricket, it still kept the ACE programme there, didn't it? So that was crucial, wasn't it?
No, it was, and we were still able to do little bits in here, and we filmed quite a bit of different content, whether it was for Sky, whether it was for VCB, whether it was for ourselves, and it just kept things fresh. And I guess when a big part of last summer was not only the COVID with the Black Lives Matter stuff that was going on with George Floyd and everything else, there was a lot of focus on, well, what are people doing, I guess, for black people? What has cricket done for black people? And, you know, there's a lot of players coming out sharing their experiences of racism, and, you know, it was quite a heightened point. So I guess for a lot of people it was on another side, we was able, with our program, we highlighted the problem. We provided a solution, and then within that we showed a bit of brief success. So it was always a good news story to show what we want to do, but we know we've got a long way to go. And like I said, for me, we've had a lot of media coverage, and a lot of good stuff, and I just want to you know, back it up.
Well, but no, it's not because you will back it up, and I know it's going to be hugely successful, but you must just want to get on with it. Is that the right phrase? You've done all of that. You've done all the media. It works. We've seen it works. But because of the pandemic, you've had a real start.
I can't wait. So even just, we had our first session back on Wednesday, and it was great to see the young scholars coming in, and we've given them out some kit and just seeing their faces with that. And we've got our schools program starting next week, like I said, in London and Birmingham. So our coaches will be out delivering in the schools. The community hubs start the week after. Our sessions will be running now pretty much every Wednesday till the end of the year, and I'm just excited to actually see it happening, because, you know, you get excited. Lockdown, you plan some other things, there was another lockdown, we have some sessions, and then there was a third lockdown, and now we're here again. So, you know, it's been a crazy up and down year, but within the year we've had some great moments and some brief successes, and just looking forward to pushing on.
How, you mentioned it, first training session this week. How good was it to be back, and how good was it to have your scholars, and how good was it for them to see you guys as well?
Yeah, it was great. You know, it was great just to see them. You know, I've seen them a lot over Zoom. We've been having a regular Zoom.
How good are you at Zoom now, Chevy?
Yeah, I'm good.
Everyone's good. Do you have a background? Do you have a?
No. I just keep it wherever I am. You know, but we spoke. Ebbs and I have spoke about, you know, if we can, you know, if this stuff continues more, we'll get some ACE banners in the background. And
although,
make it
to be
look
fair,
cool.
My friend,
I know. I always try to keep on brand where I can. So yeah, no, it was fantastic just to see them again. There was a bit of rust, rustiness, but that's expected. Some of them have had done some stuff with their clubs, others don't even have clubs or had the opportunity to yet. So for some of them it was their first experience back playing cricket. So there was a bit of rust, but it was good just to see them, talk to them, you know, catch up briefly in between little moments. I don't necessarily heavily get involved in the physical side of the coaching sessions as I not necessarily I wouldn't like to. I just don't want to be the director and the head coach or coach. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. So, but I know a lot of the players. I've got a good relationship with a lot of them and some of their parents now over this time where there's a lot more communication over Zoom and emails and WhatsApps. So yeah, it's just good to see where some of their heads were at and just, you know, really see how they're doing. And it was great. And I'm just looking forward to the next weeks and months of just actually having a full season to do something, you know, to actually play.
Well, give us an idea then of what that full season will look like.
Yeah, so we'll have regular, in terms for our academy, we'll have regular training sessions, and we'll have some matches. We've got some fixtures planned July and August. We've got a residential camp that we're trying to plan as well, which is amazing. Like, so we're just trying to piece all these things together.
That's a great, a residential camp.
Yeah. So like, we're looking to take away. Unfortunately, it won't be everyone. No. But we'll be looking to take away 15 players for a residential camp, like a four-day camp where we can, really up the ante, I guess, of what we want to try and do in the summer. So that will be, that's planned for, at the moment, provisionally for middle of July. Which is, I just can't wait. Playing the games as well, and just supporting the players, because the ones that are at clubs, seeing how they get on with themselves, and just getting whatever tips we can get from their coaches, working with them to see where they need to improve. And for some of the older ones, if they're currently in their club's second team, what can we do to get them in to their first team? And for the other players, if they're on that verge of the county trials, what do we need to get them to do? And like a friend of ours, both Arthur Godsdale, he used to play for Middlesex.
Yeah, well, I've got a huge
19s.
interest because of Arthur.
Yeah,
really.
No, good kid, very good kid, very, very good kid. And we just want to try and help, someone like him, a little bit older, but reached out to us very early.
That's the interesting point for me. So we've mentioned the 10 to 18.
Yeah.
Taking Arthur as an example, 22, 23 now.
Arthur? Yeah.
Was on Middlesex's books, then got released. He's sticking in there somehow, bless him.
Yeah.
And still doing his training. Still, I think he's going to play some minor counties.
Yeah, he's doing some stuff with South Wilts.
Absolutely, but he's with. And so if you get somebody like him, as well, part of your sort of remit is to get another opportunity for somebody like Arthur.
100%. So the thing, again, COVID didn't just disrupt the current academy scholars. Luckily, through the relationships that we do have, like a place like here at Surrey and other places, he would have had opportunities to do some net bowling. Would have got to bowl at some of the second team here, first team here, and in those moments you never know where those opportunities come. I saw one youngster going back a couple of years. He was just on my community program, played in like a T20 competition for me. He ended up bowling at a couple of the Surrey players. I won't say which ones. He was a bowler, and he ended up bowling at some of the bowlers, and they was like, oh, this kid's alright, and he got a game. He only played one game, but if he played well in that one game, who knows what can happen. And I just think there's so many opportunities where it just takes one opportunity, one moment for these young individuals to get a chance. It's just about them grasping it. And for someone like Arthur, not just helping him with the playing side, we want him to become a professional again, get signed somewhere, but he's spoken widely about becoming a coach, so trying to support him on that coaching journey as well. He's very intelligent. He's doing his masters and stuff like that at uni, and very, very pleasant young man. And those are young people that we want to kind of help. There's been a few others that have been in the current setup at counties who face some on the field and off the field racism, who want some support, so we're kind of calling that a bit of our ACE elite.
Right.
And providing them with some mentoring and supporting them and their families, and but they was still part of our Zooms over this period, and we'll be supporting them, because the ones that are in the game, if they need our support, we want to make sure that they stay in the game and they go to the next level. So it's good. It's good.
You're doing
can't wait.
It's magnificent. Sort of a final question for you, because I can see the players getting ready to come back out after lunch. Look, for anybody who's listening in on BBC Radio Leicester or BBC Radio London, or is watching on the live stream, and they want to get in touch with you, and they want to go and find information about the ACE programme, where do they go?
You can Google the ACE programme, will be one of the first names up there, but on Instagram, at ACE programme, on our website aceprogramme.com, email info@aceprogramme.com as well. So it's great. And Church, I do have a present for you, because I remember you mentioned,
so exciting,
last time we spoke, we did mention about you saying when Wimbledon, the ACE, you wanted the ACE hat. So a present to you.
Genuinely, everybody, this to me, and I saw Phil Walker with one earlier, and I was so jealous. And I'm going to try and put it on sort of on my top of my headphones at the moment there. I can't really put it on properly, but I've just got visions of Chevy and I at Wimbledon sat like this with Djokovic just bombing aces down
Yeah,
as well.
exactly,
Maybe I'll wear it differently because I do look like I'm about to be escorted off the premises. But listen, Chevy, what you're doing is absolutely outstanding. The ACE programme, it's creating opportunities, and that is so important. And with what you're doing in Ebony, and for anybody who's listening in, if you are interested, then I'll have a word and we'll get those details stuck up on the Surrey Cricket Twitter feed again for you at some point today. But so good to see you, and thank you, my friend, for the cap. I will wear this with a huge amount of pride, my friend.
No, thank you for just
very much
helping spread the word.
Well, absolutely. You come and join us again throughout the summer, my friend.
Definitely.
You're more than welcome. More than welcome.
Definitely.
Chevy Green, they're the director of the ACE programme. Absolutely terrific to see Chevy.